I want to love this little camera, but it is driving me absolutely crazy. It's the Insta360 dual lens, 1-inch sensor, 8K, gimbal stabilized, like a co-engineered pocket camera that everybody's been talking about. But is it worth the hype? Is it worth your hard-earned money? Let's get into it. First, I'm not sponsored by Insta360. I bought this camera with my own money, so you know I'm gonna shoot it to you straight. So let's go. So let's get to know this camera first. It does have a flip to turn on screen, which should feel very familiar if you use the Osmo Pocket 3 or the new 4 that's just come out. We've got two lenses here. The 1x sensor is a 1-inch lens that can do 1.8, and the 3x sensor is a 1/1.3 sensor. So overall, pretty decent sized sensor on this pocket camera. You do have two custom buttons on the 2-inch LCD screen that you can program to different functions. The tilt, pan, joystick here. You can double click this to center the gimbal, press it once to track a subject. And you've got your zoom here, which you can do a quick swipe to go through 1x, 2x, 3x, 6x, and 12x, or you can slide to zoom with a more smoother zoom action. Of course, the record button here, and you've got a few different microphones on here. It looks like both sides of this for noise canceling, and a big microphone in the back with a windscreen, by the way, depending on which package you get. And of course, the whole thing is 3-axis gimbal stabilized, so you've got 3 gimbal motors sitting on top. Now, the coolest thing about this camera is the detachable screen. And this is just insane. It's a total game changer, especially for people who want to do like car rollers, or if you want to set it down and film yourself, you can grab this and see exactly what you're filming. But I would like to see just how far it can go before you lose range. We're still going here. I'm about 70 feet out, 80, so we can zoom in on me. This is a good 100-ish feet away. We're still going. This is just nuts. The camera does support 8K up to 30 frames per second. You also have 4K up to 120 frames per second. So you can do 4X slow motion with that. 2.7K, also 120, and 1080p up to 240 frames per second, which is pretty quick. But is the footage any good? These are shot at 4K 120. And these are shot at 1080p 240. Now it's pretty slow, but you can see in this footage, even a baseball bat hitting a watermelon or hitting fruit, it's slow, but I'd like to see it even slower. How about 480 frames per second or 960? Come on guys, keep going, keep working up there. Let's see it. As far as video shooting modes go, you do have a few options. You have your standard video, you have your pure video, which is for night shots. You've got a time-lapse mode, time shift, which is like a hyperlapse mode if you're doing a motion time-lapse, and photo, which will take 37 megapixel stills. So the standard version of this camera is $769.99, so not super cheap. The Creator Combo sells for $969.99, plus tax in California brought it well over $1,000 for me. So I want to see some seriously good footage from this thing to be worth the money. If you get the Creator Combo, you get this nice little carrying case here, this windscreen over the microphone that is not standard. You get the 0.75x wide lens, the hand strap, you get a tripod adapter. Also in the Creator Combo, you're gonna get this really cool Insta360 Mic Pro. It does come with a windscreen, cool little microphone. We'll get into that later. So now testing the zoom out, we are in 1x, 2x, 3x, 6x and 12x zoom. Look at this sailboat. That's just amazing. I cannot believe the zoom on this. You know, I had the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 and it was a super cool camera, but you had the option of 1x and I think it was 2x zoom on that, and that zoom was not very good. It's officially totally nighttime here. We just got a little bit of street light, and this is in the true video mode. You can see some people out here in the bar looking weird. They're like, "What you doing?" That's funny. But yeah, this is what it looks like in very, very low light conditions. Not so bad. I'm pretty impressed with the quality of this footage. Here's some colors in night mode. And let's see these flowers. Pretty amazing. They look better on the screen than they do in person. The audio of your video is so important. I've made so many videos where the audio was just trash and I spent so much time on the video and audio completely ruined it because it just doesn't sound good or whatever. So this camera has so many different ways of recording audio. We're gonna go through them right now. Right now I'm using the included Mic Pro. This came with the creator combo of this camera, and right now this is in the normal mode. So we're doing 32-bit float recording, awesome, and normal mode. Now we're gonna switch to noise canceling mode, and this is what it sounds like. So with noise canceling, I kind of sound like this. By the way, I've got the airport behind me, San Diego International Airport, so it's not the quietest location to film it. We've got a bunch of cars too. Now the next mode, I'm just using the onboard microphone from the device, and right now I'm facing the screen. This is really important because of how the device is built. There's a big microphone on the back of it. Now I'm facing the giant microphone on this camera, talking to it. Let's see if that's any better. I have no idea if it's going to be better or not, but yeah, facing the giant microphone. This is how it sounds with audio just on the detachable touchscreen remote. I really love this because in a pinch, if you forget your microphone, you can just pull this thing out and still get what I hope is very passable audio. How cool is that? What more could you ask for? So there you have it, just out of the box with the creator combo. That's 5 ways of getting audio with this thing, and you judge for yourself which one is the best. Let's turn this microphone back on so you can see just how the difference is. We're back on the Mic Pro right now in noise canceling. Now it's really designed to shoot in horizontal, but if you flip it vertical, you can do a true vertical shot just like this, but you will need to hold the camera sideways, which can be a bit awkward. Instead of that, you can also switch the screen to a vertical mode like this. You have to enable that in the settings, and that will enable vertical shooting. However, this is cropped. It just crops in from that horizontal 8K footage to give you the vertical shooting. And with the vertical mode, you can do up to 3K 60 resolution. So you're not gonna have the full 8K if you're holding it like this in vertical mode. Now the Luna also does have some filters that you can apply. This is the POS film feature. You can also do Dolby Vision. This is the cinematic filter. This is CC film. Now this is me with the Beautify filter turned on. Or you can do Insta360's iLog format, which is a 10-bit format that you can use for better color grading later. I'm really impressed with these 37 megapixel photos. Great detail. It looks like it was shot from a professional camera. And for $1,000 I would hope these photos are good. Can use the Luna Ultra to film YouTube videos. On one side, we've got my Sony ZV-1 II, which I'm filming my standard YouTube videos on. It's not even a DSLR, but it's plenty adequate for YouTube. And here we have the Luna Ultra. Now, I do have the DJI Mic 3 on the Sony camera and the Insta360 Mic Pro on the Luna Ultra. So you can compare both the video quality and the sound quality of the different microphones. Now the cool thing about the Luna Ultra is I can just tap one button and it will start tracking me. So if I want to do a walk around shot and show you how dirty my room is, show you all the stuff I have on my desk, I can do that. That can be kind of cool for certain situations. I do like a fixed camera on most of my YouTube stuff, but this is neat. I've been having all these issues with the gimbal tilting when I'm moving around. I tried the rollers and it was really giving me trouble. I had switched it from a slow gimbal speed to medium. Now I switched it from medium to fast. And I thought it was resolved, but if you look at the tilt on this is just absolutely ridiculous. It doesn't matter what gimbal mode I put it on. Gimbal modes. I was successful before by switching between FPV and roll mode, but why is roll like this? This is the one that should be straight. It's just driving me absolutely crazy. So we're gonna go to calibrate the gimbal, and I've already done this once. So this is with a fresh gimbal calibration on the new firmware. Let's see if it can stay actually level this time as we're filming. We are in roll and tilt lock, which should be the right mode. I don't know if the right term for this is precession or drift or what, but it's driving me crazy. So my thoughts on this camera, I am super impressed with the video quality, with the build of it, the remote screen. It's just this gimbal issue, really. If everybody's having that issue, I'm gonna say don't buy this camera. I got this last week, going well. The gimbal doesn't work, it like just drifts to the side. I really didn't expect to have to return this camera because the gimbal wasn't gimbaling right, but that's how life goes. I actually loved everything else about this camera so much that I went and bought another one to give this a second chance. You can expect to hear from me if I do have any issues with the new one I just picked up, but fingers crossed that this one will just make my day. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.